All right, let's talk about something. It's late. The house is quiet. Your phone is probably in your hand. And it's in a moment just like this that a choice gets made. A choice that quietly builds the person you're becoming or the person you'll regret being. We all think that big change happens under the bright lights with some big announcement. But what if that's all wrong? What if the real battle is won or lost right here, in the quiet, when absolutely no one is watching?
And that is the whole idea, isn't it? This exact moment. Your willpower is shot, the day is over, and temptation is everywhere. This is where the real work gets done. It's not about some grand New Year's resolution. It's about the tiny, unseen decision you make when you're tired and you're all alone.
And honestly, this is where most of us fail. Quietly. It's not some big dramatic explosion. It's a slow leak. It's a quiet erosion that you don't even notice at first. And then, years down the line, you look up and wonder, where did all that time go? What happened to all those plans I made?
To really get this, I want to tell you a story about a guy we'll call David. He's 19, he's a student, and just like so many of us, he is full of dreams. He's got big plans.
See, during the day, David is the person we all try to be. He's on top of it, he goes to his classes, he maps out his goals, he writes down these detailed plans, and he truly believes it. He believes he's about to change everything.
But then, the clock hits 11 p.m., and it's like a switch flips. That ambitious, disciplined guy just disappears. The books stay closed, the work sits there, and instead, he just starts scrolling. For 1 hour, then 2, then 3, until his eyes are burning and his brain just feels like static. He keeps telling himself, I'll make up for it tomorrow. But that tomorrow, it never really comes, does it?
Does any of that sound familiar? I have a feeling for a lot of you, it does. Because this isn't just David's story. It's a silent pattern playing out in millions of bedrooms every single night.
This brings us to the absolute core of the problem. You could call it the two selves problem. And it's this feeling that, I got to admit, I know all too well. It's when you absolutely crush it during the day. You're productive, you're focused, you feel like you're in control, only to completely fall apart at night. It's like your day self is a performance for the world. But your night self, that's the real you. And just look at the difference here. The day self, it's disciplined, it's ambitious. That's the part of you that makes all the promises. But the night self is impulsive, it's exhausted, and that's the part of you that breaks every single one of those promises. And here's the scary part. The night self is the one that's actually steering the ship.
This is why it's so dangerous. It's a perfect metaphor, really. You can't spend all day designing this incredible skyscraper, your future, your goals, and then try to build it on a foundation of sand every single night. Those lost hours, that broken discipline, it just washes away all the progress you made.
And soon enough, David started to see it. It was this disturbing pattern. His days weren't just a little bit off, they were total chaos because his nights were total chaos. He'd wake up groggy, already feeling behind, already trying to catch up. And the connection became painfully obvious. His choices at 11 p.m. were literally creating his reality at 8 a.m. the next morning.
And this is where the big realization hits. You don't fail to reach your goals because of some giant obstacle. No, you fail because of 1,000 tiny, seemingly insignificant habits. The decision to scroll instead of sleep, the choice to consume instead of create. Your future isn't defined by your ambitions. It's forged by these tiny nightly rituals.
So, what do? How do you actually fix this? Well, this is where David had a breakthrough. He decided to stop pretending his late-night choices didn't matter. Instead, he started to design an actual system, an architecture to take back his nights.
He came up with something we'll call the 11 p.m. rule. And this one idea changed the entire game for him. Because the question was no longer, what do I feel like doing right now? It became, who am I becoming with this single choice? It wasn't just a guideline, it was like a signed contract with the person he wanted to be.
And his plan was brutally simple. It had 3 parts. First, reduce the friction. He started charging his phone in another room. He made the bad choice harder and the right choice easier. Second, he set a hard boundary. No phone after 10:30 p.m., period. No exceptions. And third, and this is crucial, he committed to one tiny, repeatable, positive action right before bed. Because this is the secret. It wasn't about reading a whole book. It was about reading 10 pages. It wasn't about writing a chapter. It was about writing 3 sentences. These things aren't intense, but they are repeatable. And David learned that your identity isn't built in one heroic effort. It's forged in the boring, quiet repetition, one night at a time.
So what happens when you start doing this? When these small nightly wins begin to stack up one on top of the other? Well, you start building a new you. Not through some burst of willpower, but through smart, intentional design.
But let's be real here. This was an instant. 6 months later, though, David was a different person. Not because of some miracle, but because he won one Tuesday night, and then he won that Wednesday night. This isn't an overnight fix. It's a slow, steady reconstruction of who you are.
He became consistent. He started trusting himself again. For the first time, he felt like he had real direction in his life. And it all came back to one simple thing. He stopped abandoning himself when the world went quiet.
So what does this mean for you right now? Well, here's your playbook. First, define your 11 p.m. moment. When does it happen for you? Second, choose one tiny productive thing to do instead of the scroll. And here's the key, make it so ridiculously simple that you can't possibly say no. The goal isn't to be intense, it's to be automatic.
Because here's the bottom line. The person you want to be in the future isn't being built in some grand moment down the road. They're being built in the quiet moments that nobody else sees. They're being built by what you choose to do at 11 p.m. tonight.
That small choice you're about to make, whether to open the app or open the book, that's a vote. It's a vote for who you're going to be. It's not a small moment. It is the entire game. The person you will be in 5 years is being decided right now.
So tonight, just make a different choice. Not a huge one, just a different one. Close the app. Pick up the book. Write one sentence. Do it especially when you don't feel like it. Because you're not just passing time, you're building someone.